Greetings, gentlemen and ladies. I'm the Crypto Game Snob, and in today's video I am playing with a blitzy, fast, fun, a mythic nature deck. This is how it looks. This is how it breaks down. I've been refining it a little bit, but it has a very nice high win ratio. We have Chiron, the teacher. This is great to buff up your card early on, also to remove something like Necroceptor, or remove a bit of durability from a nice war relic, enduring shield, or something like that. Very helpful for relic removal, especially against zombie death. We have Marshwalkers because who wouldn't want Marshwalkers? 1/4 with regen for 1 mana. That's one of the best nature cards in the game. Blackjags also awesome. 2 of those, couple of Canopy Barrages for removal. Faithflame Blade is also just awesome. We keep that for removal as well. Finian, Fruit Bearer, even though he got nerfed down to 2/2, which makes my heart cry. He's still good. He's still a good card. I still like Finian Fruit Bearer. So we got him in the deck. Underbrush Borers, now these are the, I would say, probably the most expensive card in the game. This is, something you could swap out for maybe a Skell Heavy, but this deck, and all nature decks, in my humble opinion, perform just a lot better with Underbrush Borer. Why? Because Underbrush Borer turns the tide, and you'll actually see that in some of the games to come. This is kind of acting like your removal, your Canopy Barrage, right? But instead of just removing a creature, if this guy hits something and doesn't die, then you've also got something on the board for the next game. So this is a momentum swaying card. I just love it. It can also go behind front line. It can hit protected, or not protected, it can hit backline, it can hit order, it can also hit hidden cards. It just randomly attacks something on the board. I love Underbrush Borer, and I don't think I'd want to make a nature deck without it, to be perfectly honest. I know that, yeah, this is, like I say, one of the expensive cards in the deck, but yeah, Underbrush Borer is awesome in any nature deck. Moonlight Charm, also powerful. This was recently changed. This used to be 2/2 on Frenzy. Now it is a 2/2 regardless of Frenzy, but you don't get to use it the first turn. You have to wait until your next turn to trigger that Frenzy effect. So instead, we have something like Sip from Spring, which can give you that 2/2 to your weakest creature, whatever the case may be, on the very same turn. Which is nice because that instant buff really helps a lot in the early game. You'll see that also in some games to come. This is also interesting because this kind of acts like a Revenant Lynx, which I've also got a couple of in this deck, because you get to refresh 2 mana. So you can play this, buff up a creature big and strong, also refresh 2 mana, clear something, drop something else. Revenant Lynx, kind of the same idea. It's a nice big 4/2 mana drop, so you can pip into this on turn 2 and play Revenant Lynx, and then maybe drop down a black Jag, and now you've got all sorts of creatures and stats on the board. You just get so big, so strong, so fast, so wide. I have a couple of Mooncraze Cyclopses in here, even though I've seen the Rhinos in a lot of nature decks. I just feel like Mooncraze Cyclops has a better potential upside, right? Being frenzied is not hard. When you're playing nature, you're often frenzied. You often got the sway of the board, and so Mooncraze Cyclops drops down theoretically as strong as a Rhino, but he has potential to also grow each turn. So to me, it just seems like a lot of potential upside, and very unlikely that you'll get the downside of the 4/4 instead of a 5/5. Brazen Moose is just so strong at 5 mana. He's a 6/6. He can clear 6 drops like Pangolin, and I don't know, he's just a very strong card. Or a Guild Enforcer, rather. He can, out muscle Guild Enforcer. You get a Guild Enforcer down, this will take out that Guild Enforcer and still be standing, no problem. I have a couple of Green Giants in here. I love Green Giants because of their Overkill. Overkill is awesome for just taking back control of any sort of wide board, which may not be massively huge, and if you do have some massively huge board to go against, this creature is still huge, 7/8, right? This is a huge creature that if you happen to stack a Sudden Bloom on, oh my god, look out, because this becomes one of the most massive, overpowered, crazy creatures of all time, and that can happen. Now, this is one I've been just wanting to play because on paper it seems like it would be cool. You have Twin Strike, and if you're frenzied, you also get armor on this creature, so you have a 7/7 twin strike, 1 armor creature. It just seems like it should be good. That being said, it hasn't come up in a lot of my games yet, but I've tossed that in here for fun, for giggles. You could swap that out for a pangolin if you like, or whatever makes you happy. Wild hog as well. But this is a very fast blitzy deck, and as you'll see in the games to come, it's just a powerhouse. Hope you enjoy the videos to come. So lately I have actually been favoring Selena's Mark. You can also go with wild creatures, furry creatures. What the hell is it? Furry badgers? I should know the name of that god power. The god power that makes little furry creatures. Totally drawing a blank here. Yeah, so for the mulligan, if you're going second, of course, you're going to want to try to find some reactive cards. If you're going first, you want to lay something down on the table. So this is a nice looking opening hand for me. Why? Well, I've got a big Marshwalker on the table, so War is not really going to be able to clear that on turn 1, which means I'm going to be able to Frenzy and then pip into Sip from Spring, and then I'm already frenzied, so I get a nice big buff on my Marshwalker, and I can throw down my Ophidian Fruit Bearer, and out of the gate, that is a very nice looking starting deck. That's mana 2 with a 3/6 regen 1 and a 2/2 and a 1/1, all of that on the board. And yeah, that's just a very good opening hand, and that's the thing about this deck is getting a nice opening hand is fairly frequent, fairly common, and that's a lot about what a good deck build entails, right? Making sure that you get the right things at the right times, or having a lot of good options to choose from. So here I'm just going to pop the bubble on the Raid Reveler, take that out, keep his board clear, just maintain control. And that's the whole idea here. Moonlight Charm is so awesome, so powerful, because now I've got 3 turns of buffing up my creature. No frenzy required, although not a problem to get that frenzy. Like I say, nature tends to have a lot of creatures on the board, so getting that frenzy is not usually difficult. Yeah, anyway, how you guys doing? It's been a little while since I've done a video here. Hope you've been well. Just been taking a break, working on some other businesses. Yeah, that's what I've been up to. Anyway, that is a big scary broccoli here at turn 4, mana 4. It's going to continue to regen and also get stronger with every passing turn thanks to that Moonlight Charm. Here I'm just throwing down an Enraged Ally because, well, why not? I've got some mana to spend. Can't use the Flame Blade because of the Moonlight Charm. And actually, in that respect, Flame Blade and Moonlight Charm may interfere with each other a little bit, but on the other hand, you're kind of stacking the deck in a way to get something good. Like I say, if you have a lot of good early game options, then chances of getting something good in the early game and controlling that early board just goes up. You can either control it with Moonlight Charm, Sip from Spring, or you can control it with Flame Blade and Underbrush Boar or something like that. Right, so that's kind of the idea there. Man, that Grand Hall, though, is an absolute powerhouse on the healing side of War. Like, that card just is so huge for War healing. It's just crazy how much War can heal from that one card. And that was a small board. He only had one other creature on that. He got so much healing out of that. That's a crazy card. That might be one of War's most powerful cards. It really is. I've been seeing a lot more of it being played lately, but like I say, we have so much more control right now, and those Mooncray Cyclopses, like I was saying before, at least as good as an Overgrown Rhino and +1/+1 every turn. But at this point, honestly, this board is just so stacked. There's really no way to turn it around. Good game, good game. All right, let's move on to the next one. All right, let's see what we got here. But you can see just how quickly and how stacked. I mean, that was mana 5. That was mana 5. I had 2 Cyclopses on the board and a 10/11 regen Marshwalker by mana 5. That's just crazy. And my had total board control. So this deck can buff so quickly and so fast. Like I said, that was a 3-minute game, right? So that's what I like about nature. Nature can be so blitzy and so fast and so dominating that it's really a lot of fun. Really a lot of fun to play. Anyway, I very much like the early Pig and Marshwalker combo. I'll always pip into that if I have them in my hand, even if I'm going first. And here I happen to be going second. He unfortunately bricks the first turn, which is very bad for starting. You don't want to play nothing. That's a bad way to have it done. Anyway, like I say, the Lynx there with its 2 mana recharge allows me to play a big, strong 4/2 creature and play another 2 mana spell in this case to clear the board. Yeah, being able to refresh 2 mana, be it either from Spring or Revenant Lynx, can be really, really powerful if you pip into it early on, or if you get it even at mana 3, it can be really, really powerful just to add so much damage onto your board, creatures on your board, all that good stuff. Now I'm playing Chiron here because nature doesn't tend to have relics that are too problematic, and if it does, usually those relics are well, like Moonlight Charm, for example, has 3 health to it, so it wouldn't actually reduce that much of the duration. That being said, it would have actually worked pretty well against that Jagstaff, but I haven't seen Jagstaff played all that much lately, so I wasn't really accounting for Jagstaff. But this is why I love Selena's Mark so much. It's just so good for popping bubbles on war cards, or just picking off that last little bit of health. Yeah, I've been favoring Selena's Mark lately for that reason. It's very utility, also got a bit of healing to go along with it. The other option there was to drop that big moose on the board, get a big old body on the board, but in this case I decided just to keep the board clear and kind of maintain board control, because I like to have board control. If your opponent's always playing from behind, that's a very difficult place to be in. Your board gets bigger, his board continues to stay empty. It can be very hard to recover. So this actually worked out really well here with Canopy Barrage, and then it actually worked out, what was it here? Yeah, that was a miss, but it hit his god's face, and it ended up unlocking Vow of Champions, which just turned out to be too perfect, almost unfair, and just mean and nasty in terms of how well that played. So yeah, cleared the moose, took no damage to my creatures, and just unfair. That's just the sort of thing that makes you cry. If that happened to me, yeah. Well, that's all I can say is that it feels bad. That's all. It feels bad. Anyway. Oh yeah. The Stag, though, that's a great card. I've been thinking about shuffling it into this deck, perhaps some way, somehow. But the thing about the Stag is, even though you do get a lot of value out of it, it doesn't exactly help you all that much with tempo. So tempo or kind of board control. 3/3 is different than 3/4, which is considerably stronger at 3 mana. You know, it's a lot easier to take out a 3/3 than a 3/4. As you can see, I had 2 creatures on the board. Each of them did 3 damage. If I had to do, 4 damage, that's just like one more move that gets taken up by that one additional point of health. So 3/4 is considerably stronger at 3 mana than 3/3, even though it seems pretty close, right? It's surprisingly different. But yeah, that being said, the Stag does generate a lot of value in those free cards, and that's some great stuff. So here at this point, I'm not wanting to risk my moose, right? Because I could lose my moose on his pangolin. His pangolin's already, blitzed on the board, done some damage. So I decide just to drop down a Felid tracker, however you say that, and let my underbrush boar do the trick. Like I say, that's why I love underbrush boar. It's so reactive. Canopy Barrage also would have worked there pretty well, but you only have so many Canopy Barrages, right? You can only have so many removal cards. The Hunt is a perfect card for him right here. Like, it's absolutely perfect. It's just what you need to take down 2 serious threats off the board. But this deck has only just begun to throw down some of its top end. We've got 2 Raging Giants, we've got 2 Green Giants, we've got 2 Sudden Blooms. We've just got so much muscle at about this time of the game that it's not really even problematic if you start losing a couple of big cards. It's just very easy. Like I say, there's another Green Giant to out-muscle your opponent Here I just wanted to play Raging Giant. Honestly, Green Giant probably would have been the better play, but I just wanted to play Raging Giant because I haven't got to play with it as much as I want to. It just never seems to come up at the right time. So it might not be the best card, but it just seems like it could be good. 7/7 with 1 armor and Twin Strike just seems like it could be very powerful. So I've just been experimenting with it, exploring a bit. That does work out for him quite well. That's a good play with the Canopy Barrage and able to take down my Green Giant in that regard. But you know, I have another Green Giant in hand, and so much muscle. So, yeah. This deck has just a lot of that 6/7 mana game muscle. Like it really does. It's got so many big, powerful creatures, and like I say, Sudden Bloom, Sudden Bloom if that comes up, that's just crazy, crazy good. Pangolin is always nice. Pangolin is always nice. Not going to be enough in this case. Like I say, at 6 mana, I love Overgrown Giant, or Green Giant rather, because even though he's confused, that overkill tends to make up for confused. So if he goes the wrong way, he tends to overkill, you know, other stuff on the board as well. Yeah, here it was pretty much impossible not to get that kill shot, right, because of that overkill, even if I hit the apple on purpose, right? And that's a look. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I'll see you later.